When it comes to investing into dividend-paying stocks or ETFs, the frequency of payouts can significantly impact your investment strategy and, of course, your financial goals, depending on where you're at in life. And while quarterly paying dividend stocks are pretty common, there is definitely a compelling case for embracing monthly paying dividend stocks or ETFs for multiple different reasons. Now, in this video, we're going to explore monthly paying dividend stocks, and I'm going to give multiple different reasons on why I think in many situations they are ideal and why they are perfect for certain investors. And then later on in the video, I'm going to show you my favorite monthly paying dividend stocks and explain to you exactly why. Now, if this happens to interest you at all, make sure to please drop a like down below, subscribe, and let's get right into it. Before we get into today's video, make sure to please go to the first link in my description and grab my brand new dividend investing ebook and dividend tracker bundle. I promise you guys are going to find tons of value in both. So just so everyone's for sure on the same page here real quick. Most stocks, something like Apple, pays a dividend on a quarterly basis or around every single 90 days. So for example, so far in 2023, Apple paid out a dividend in February, didn't pay out the next dividend until May, then paid a dividend back in July, and then recently back in November. And although getting paid a dividend every single quarter is perfectly fine, there's nothing wrong with that, and you most likely are going to come across that pretty commonly throughout the markets. There are also different stocks and ETFs, like this right here, Realty Income, for example, that does pay a dividend every single month. So as you can see, Realty Income paid 26 cents back in November, Realty Income paid 26 cents back in October, September, and so on and so forth. Now, reason number one on why I think monthly paying dividend stocks can be very beneficial and why they are just flat out better. For investors that are currently building out their portfolio like myself personally, I am actively building out a portfolio of different monthly paying dividend stocks and ETFs, and on a monthly basis when I actually get paid all the dividends, I am currently reinvesting that money back into more dividend paying stocks and ETFs. And this is exactly how the dividend snowball takes place, the power of compounding. As you continue to invest and reinvest all the dividends along the way, you're going to at some point see exponential growth throughout your portfolio, which hopefully sometime in the future can even pay for your bills and then maybe your entire lifestyle. So by getting these dividends paid to me on a monthly basis versus a quarterly basis like we see here with Apple, for example, I am then able to reinvest the money and get it to work even quicker than that of a quarterly paying ETF or stock. Now, a caveat with that is the fact that it's going to be a marginal increase on whether or not you get something reinvested, say 60 days faster. But either way, I enjoy getting paid more frequently, even if it's the same difference, because I can get that money back into the market a lot quicker. Now, just to show you the difference of a quarterly frequency dividend versus a monthly frequency dividend, over a 30-year time frame with $25,000 starting and $3,600 per year, let's see how much this portfolio would be worth in 30 years. Now, this is once again with a quarterly dividend paid. So this portfolio at the end of 30 years, reinvesting every single dividend with these starting parameters would be worth around $1.159 million at the end of 30 years. Now, if we were to keep every single thing else the same, but turn the dividend frequency to monthly. So after 30 years with monthly dividends paid and reinvested, it is more money. It's not all that much more money, but it is more to say the least. We're at $1.175 million. So realistically speaking, like I talked about earlier in the video, it's not really going to make or break it if you get paid a dividend on a monthly frequency or a quarterly frequency. But there is still a little bit of money left on the table just without having that small amount of time to reinvest a little bit quicker. The next reason on why I think monthly paying dividend stocks are substantially better than quarterly paying is because a lot of investors, including myself, are planning on using my dividends to cover all my bills when it comes time for retirement. Now, once again, looking at a monthly paying schedule right here, this is Realty Income. It pays around 26 cents on a monthly basis as of right now. If an investor had a ton of money tied up in Realty Income, every single month they would get their dividend payment and they would use that dividend payment to maybe cover their rent, their mortgage, or whatever bills they might have. But on the other hand, looking at Apple right here, back in February, Apple paid out a dividend. But of course, because Apple pays on a quarterly frequency, the next dividend did not come until May. So for those investors that might not be the best at cash management, or for the investors that just want to get more cash flow on a monthly basis, because remember, most bills come monthly. There's very, very few bills, at least to my knowledge, that you're able to pay on a quarterly basis. Most bills are due on the first of the month. So that being said, investing a large amount of net worth into dividend paying stocks or ETFs that pay quarterly could potentially be an issue for those that might be a little bit closer to retirement and want to rely on those dividend paying stocks or ETFs to help cover their bills on an ongoing basis. Now, once again, just a caveat, it's no difference if Apple pays 24 cents on a quarterly basis versus 8 cents on a monthly basis. Either way, it's the same exact amount of money. I get it. But just on a cash management or cash flow basis, monthly payers can be much easier to deal with when it comes to paying bills ongoingly. Now, my last reason on why I love monthly paying dividend stocks and ETFs, and why I invest heavily in both of them, is not necessarily as much of a serious matter. It's more or less just the fact that it's just fun. I enjoy getting paid more frequently into my brokerages, and getting paid every 30 days or so from different stocks or ETFs. It gives you a lot more instant gratification. And because I think a lot of investors agree with me, I think that's why a lot of different ETFs and stocks out there do pay out on a monthly basis. It's really motivating to invest into something like realty income, for example. Buying a few shares throughout the months, knowing that within the next month, you are going to be getting paid a dividend off that share. Because of course, realty income pays out on a monthly basis. Versus once again, if you were to have bought a share of Apple, let's say in late February, you wouldn't be getting paid a dividend for quite a long time. Now, once again, I fully understand and agree that it doesn't really make all that much of a difference. If you get paid a dividend on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis, it's not all that much different at all. But I will say, as an investor that's been investing in the market for around 7 or 8 years now, I really still thoroughly enjoy getting my $1 dividend or my $100 dividend or whatever amount it is from whatever stock or ETF we're talking about on a monthly basis, just because it feels much more rewarding and it reminds me of how much hard work I put in to buy that stock or ETF in the first place. So just to recap, we went over 3 different reasons on why I think monthly paying dividend ETFs and stocks are superior in multiple different ways. We talked about the fact that you can get the money quicker in your brokerage to reinvest into more different dividend stocks or ETFs to hopefully grow your snowball even faster. We also talked about the fact that a lot of dividend growth investors out there, including myself, are looking to use, or some of them are already using, these dividends for retirement and realistically just need more cash flow on a consistent basis to cover bills. And then lastly, we talked about the fact that it's just sort of more fun and more gratifying getting those dividends in your brokerage a lot quicker. Now lastly, I promised I would share a few of my favorites all-time monthly paying dividend stock. My number 1 favorite of all time and one of my largest holdings across my entire portfolio is ticker symbol O, Realty Income. Realty Income has not only grown in price over the long term, but also has been paying dividends every single month for more years than I've been alive. Another super high quality monthly paying dividend stock that you should definitely look into if you don't have it already is ticker symbol Main or Main Street Capital. Now, Main Street Capital is a business development company that has been in my portfolio for years now. Main is up 234% on the all-time chart and also has been paying dividends, but not just dividends, also special dividends monthly pretty frequently over the last several years. And lastly, on the monthly paying dividend side of things, my last favorite is actually an ETF, but it's a JP Morgan Nasdaq Equity Premium Income ETF, or JEPQ. Now, JEPQ is up over 22% on the year-to-date time frame and has over a 10% trailing 12-month dividend yield. And even though JEPQ doesn't pay the same exact dividend on a monthly basis because it is a covered call ETF, it still overall has been very great and has been in my portfolio for around a year now. But through all this, now I want to hear from you guys down below. If you happen to be a fan of monthly paying dividend stocks or ETFs, what is the number 1 reason for you personally on why you love holding on to them, on why you think they're superior compared to quarterly paying? Drop it in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like in it and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.